Hello there. What is going on, everyone? Today we've got a lot of Star Wars Legion information to talk about because, in addition to all of the stuff that AMG has put out, we also have some German leaks as well as some Asmodee store leaks. I'm not sure how long these are going to stay up. Some of them, it looked like they were starting to take them down already, but although that could have just been server fluctuations. But I wonder if these were meant to go up for pre-order with all of the leaked images or not, but everything that kind of, I say leaks. It's stuff that was put out by Asmodee, so leaks is kind of a loose term, but so that's why I put the headline as just lots of info, because some of it has kind of been translated, some of it has been gathered from things that have kind of been talked about a little bit, as well as things that we can just plainly see. So we're going to talk about all four of the current expansions, like basically half of the Kashyyyk wave right now. We've already talked a little bit about Yoda and some of the other Wookiees, and we also have that big old snail perseverer, pervasier, surveyor, that big snail tank, and also the infantry support vehicle, or that mud speeder thing that is also coming. But let's talk about these. We've got the super tactical droid, the IG-100 Magna Guards, the Radohnasp Fluttercraft, and of course the Spider droids to talk about today, with some new information about all of these. So first thing I want to talk about a little bit is the super tactical droid. Also, if you guys haven't already, make sure you enter to win that $25 Amazon gift card. You just have to be a subscriber and leave a comment on this or one of my videos. It's as simple as that. If you're already subscribed, you're already halfway there. All right, so the super tactical droid, Kraken or the generic super tactical droid, or Kalani. It looks like you're going to be able to run either version you want. There's going to be like unique ways to run this guy. And we got a spread here. Well, and this was captured. This was shared kind of all over. So I tried to pull these down myself, and it looked like Asmodee had already kind of taken the listings down. So I don't know if they're back up yet as of the time of you seeing this. Maybe there was something in here that wasn't supposed to be shown just yet. But one thing is you're gonna notice is there are 3 unit cards in the spread. That is certainly important. Of course, that's going to be Kraken, Kalani, and the generic super tactical droid. It is unclear whether or not a generic super tactical droid will have the little 1 pip in front of it. That's an interesting one. It's also unclear, whether or not you will want to buy multiples of this particular expansion. If there's going to be something that kind of prohibits you from running like multiple super tactical droids in the same build. I think we're going to have to wait and see a little bit more. My guess is that they're going to try and persuade some people to get, start getting multiples of unique commander expansion type boxes, and this is certainly one way to do that. Like, hey, if you want to run Kalani and Kraken, you'll have to buy 2, which is fine, because maybe not everybody wants to do that. I'd certainly rather them do this than have 3 separate, like super tactical droid, Kalani as a separate one, and Kraken as a separate one. However, there are also command cards, but it looks like there's only 1 set of command cards for the super tactical droid. So I'm guessing a super tactical droid is going to kind of, basically either Kalani or Kraken or whatever will say super tactical droid, and then it'll be like its subtype, kind of like how Chewbacca is, got his subtitle, or the 2 different versions of Luke Skywalker. I think they're going to treat this like 3 different versions of Luke Skywalker, for example. That's one prediction, but I guess we're really going to have to wait and see. But they're also going to give us a couple of cards in here that we've already seen: Vigilance, Inspiring Presence, Portable Scanner, Esteemed Leader, at least 1 other mystery upgrade, and then Into the Fray, which is one of the newer cards that's coming with this wave. We already talked about that because we've seen that with the Wookiee Warriors and the Yoda kind of Yoda expansion when they were looking at some of those into the phrase. Gonna be kind of nice if you happen to get up close and personal. I don't know if Kalani wants to get up close and personal or not, but it's just a way to get extra copies of those upgrade cards out there. The one new card that we can see is Hacked Com Unit, and that one is unclear what it is. I think it's going to be a very important upgrade. I guess it might be even a com upgrade. Com does sound very, very possible with all 4 of these because we're going to see more copies of Hacked Com Unit. Let's go ahead and move forward a little bit more to the Magna Guards, the IG-100 Magna Guards. Look, the back of this box here is showing us 6 miniatures. And apparently you've got some different assembly options. And so it's very interesting because there's a couple of things that we learned from the Magna Guard. Is that we are apparently the box translated tells us that there are enough for 2 special forces units. So you're going to be able to apparently, because we don't know how many minis are going to be in a unit. And so if you just saw this, you'd think, wow, is it going to be like 4? And then, you have, your choice of 2 heavies, which, that's kind of how it looks here. But they all have a staff here. So both of these versions is alternate versions of these dudes up here. So it looks like, it might just be units of 2 and then you add the heavy. That's kind of how it looks to me. But there's a little more. I think it might be different than that. I don't think it's just going to be units of 2 and then you add the heavy. I think it's potentially a little more than that because there is 2 unit cards in here, and I don't think it's going to be 2 of the identical same unit card. I just don't think so. I think it's going to be kind of like an elite version, sort of like Inferno Squad, or sort of like Clan Ren. I think there'll be kind of an elite version of these particular dudes, and I think that's kind of their trick. I say trick. It looks like a good value, honestly. Honestly, if you're getting 2 units in one expansion, if you can run 2 units of Magna Guards in one box, tremendous value. But why are they giving us such great value when they've never done this before? Because there's a little bit of a catch, and here's my prediction. The little bit of the catch is hinted at this card right up here. Do you see this IG-100 Magna Guard card? That's interesting to me. Because, look, we've already got the RPS 6 Magna Guard and the Electro Whip Magna Guard. First off, remind me to come back to the Electro Whip Magna Guard because that is freaking groovy, and I love it. So, but the IG-100 Magna Guard, that's what the unit is called. They're IG-100 Magna Guards. The only time we see something called with an upgrade like that is when it's a personnel, like Stormtrooper. So you get one that's like Stormtrooper. So is this heavy going to have an extra personnel slot? Maybe that's the unique version. Maybe that's like one version is you can run 2 bare bones units, or you can run one kind of thick, like a thick boy kind of thick boy. I don't know. They're just droids, right? I don't think they're really yeah. But anyway, yeah, I think that's kind of the way that they're doing this a little bit is that, if you want to run them bare bones, you can run 2, but if you want to run the really good version, you're only going to be able to fit 1 of them in here. So if you really like them a lot and you want to run 3 really good versions, you might need 3 packs. That's kind of my guess, or at least 2 packs and maybe kind of scrounging some of the excess or something like that. So I don't know. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if that IG-100 is a personnel, if this is gonna be a special forces that has personnel, or if it's just a heavy that happens to be maybe it's just a cheaper heavy. And it has no specials, because at that point it would be effectively the same as what a personnel gives, but personnel might be interesting because that might kind of be a problem moving forward. Like, wait, if we just come out with a personnel that can go anywhere, then it can go here too, and they might not want that. So they might make it a heavy that's just cheaper and adds nothing special, just counts as 1 extra miniature. But we can't really see much based on how they work. An interesting thing about the Magna Guards too is apparently they have 2 different types of ranged weapon, and they're not really known for having 2 different like types of weapons. So so like a translation says that they're armed with electro guns and precision blaster pistols, and that seems strange to me because when you look at these, like I see, like I'm guessing this is the leader here, maybe with the pistol, but they don't look like they have electro guns, you know, unless that's just like a translation. It might have just been electro stabs and not electro guns, because I was just looking at some of the community translations that have happened, and I'm like, I think it's electro stabs and blaster pistols. So you can let me know if you think that that's or if we have any German speaking viewers, if you've seen any of this stuff, if it's, I mean, because it seems to me like it. They're armed with electro stabs. They're not armed with electro. I don't even think there is an electro gun. There definitely are electro stabs. So that's what I think. I don't think it's going to be two different ranged per mini. With the exception of your bazooka dude, your RPS 6 is going to be your extra ranged attack. I'm really curious about the whip. I think that's going to... I mean, I think they're going to have immune to pierce anyway, or at least that whole, like, when they spend a dodge there, now they gain immune to pierce, so basically they kind of power up the stabs, and now they can stop, you know, at least immune to pierce when in melee. I don't necessarily think they'll have immune to pierce for ranged, so I think they're going to have at least immune to pierce when in melee. I'm curious how the whip is going to be different than the stabs, though, because I imagine the stabs would perform similarly to how the Royal Guards force pikes kind of perform, and basically for it to be kind of like equivalent to a lightsaber, because you have so many of them, you know, they should be probably equivalent to a Jedi as far as, you know, melee attack potential. So what is the lightsaber whip, right? Or what is that that electric whip Magna Guardian unit going to have? I'm very curious about that. We don't know a whole lot about how these guys are going to be, but it's reasonable to assume that they're going to be similar in some ways to, you know, to the Royal Guard. We have been told that they're going to have kind of an AI for their Guardian, where the restriction is they can only Guardian somebody who is a commander, so they will not like use Guardian on a Corps or a Special Forces or a Cad Bane. They won't protect Cad Bane or Darth Maul even, but they'll protect like Dooku and Grievous and you know, a super tactical droid or T-Series even. Another thing I want to point out is we got some tactical rocks up on here. Now, I know that this stuff is still all done under FFG, but I feel like the AMG influence has kind of backwards compatibility-wise crept through just a little bit. So, but yeah, so looking on to other stuff, we're going to get Protector. Again, Protector, they're going to have training, obviously. They're going to enter the fray. Hacked comms unit, again. They're going to have, of course, the comms upgrade. I'm pretty sure hacked comms unit is going to be, you know, a comm upgrade. They come with droid poppers also. Although, isn't that a little strange for droids to throw droid poppers? Well, it means they're going to have a grenade slot, which I don't think... I don't know if we've got any droids yet that can use grenades. So that could be pretty interesting, especially if you want to give them fragmentation grenades, because I'm curious if they're going to have any kind of surge, because I love the idea of being able to have surge to hit or surge to crit like you get with the frag grenades. That'd be kind of groovy. And of course, tenacity on these guys. I wonder how many training slots they're going to have, if they're going to have 2 or just 1. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Moving forward, the Radar Nasp. We got a little bit of, you know, if we want the gunner in the back or the bombardier, which is going to be pretty interesting. We've got a pilot. There's going to be definitely a lot of different ways. I think they said something about 5 potential different ways that you can build this this particular unit card, which is going to be kind of interesting depending on all the little upgrades that come with it. We're going to be getting that pilot, the gunner, the bombardier. This is actually going to be a heavy as well. I had initially expected this one to be a support, but this one's going to be a heavy, and I'm thinking to myself, boy, the Republic's getting a lot of heavies right now. Getting a lot of heavies. I didn't think this one was big enough to qualify, but apparently it is. Doesn't it look like it has droid, like B1 kind of droid legs right there? But I mean, I suppose this is going to be on the small, maybe one of the smallest heavies we get. It looks like it's kind of on a snowspeeder size base anyway, and snowspeeders aren't really that big, so I guess it works. it does make me wonder if we're going to eventually get something bigger than a heavy, right? Like if we're going to get like the ultras at some point. Like and I don't even know if they'll call it ultra or if they'll call it magma. No, magma is not even a size thing. That's just liquid rock. Magma. Anyway, no. So it's kind of surprising that there's going to be another heavy because they just got the lat. You know, hey, that's fine. You know, we don't have to have complete symmetry between factions. I'm okay with that. It is said that they're going to be very, very fast. So I expect it will be at least speed 2, if not speed 3. Probably something to kind of give them a little bit of, I'm guessing, snow speeder type play. Right, you've already got that rear gunner that you can put on there. I don't know if they'll have a front gunner, but they're going to have a new keyword called overrun. I'm not sure exactly what that's going to do. My guess is that since from the model and from what we can see, it doesn't really look like this thing has guns in the front. My guess is overrun kind of gives it the frontal type of attack. Like it wants to go through and then attack from the behind. Right, so maybe it gives it some kind of displacement type of effect. Because normally, repulsor vehicles can only displace on a compulsory move. Since this guy's a little bit more of a helicopter, I don't expect him to have a compulsory move. I expect him to be more of a hover to air. And so I'm guessing that overrun is going to kind of be the middle ground, that kind of like his drunken driver, or not the drunken driver, but the the disgruntled, the inconsiderate driver for the AA5. I think it's going to kind of behave in that way. I think that's kind of what the overrun keyword is going to do, something like that. Maybe it lets you perform a free attack after displacing. You know, like that could be a kind of a cool thing, especially if your rear attack isn't all that strong. But then if your rear attack isn't all that strong, you know, getting extra attacks wouldn't be all that crazy. But it makes me wonder, what else can it do? Like, is it going to have the ability to drop off Wookiees at all? Is it going to have any kind of like light transport option? I guess we're just going to have to see. They certainly don't make it seem like it's going to have that, though, especially if it's very fast. I think this one might be a kind of a lower point cost heavy, just to kind of fill up the battlefield a little bit more and get some big bases out there and get some pretty cool looking stuff. I think this latest wave is going to have a lot more big units to take up a lot of space on the battlefield and make your games just look groovy. I also don't expect it to have armor. Although it might have armor 1, it might have a little bit of armor because the Rorschach wood or whatever it is that they use, it might have a little bit of armor. But I don't think they need to do armor 1 unless maybe they give it white defense dice. Or you do it the other way around and you don't give it armor, you just give it red defense dice with maybe not a defensive surge, because it is kind of exposed. Like I'm not sure how to do it. Maybe cover 2 in white defense dice, armor 1. I don't know. I'm like, it's kind of, there's a lot of different ways they could go with something as big as this. I guess we'll have to wait and see. Or maybe it just has a lot of hit points and like white defense die, no defensive surge, no special keywords. You know, it's out there. You just good luck taking it down. You know, I don't know. Maybe it'll die quick. Maybe it's only like 70 points for a heavy. Well, I mean, we have cheap heavies also, but they get really expensive when you upgrade them. Maybe it'll be like 50 to start, and, you know, who knows? I guess we'll have to wait. Not all heavies have to be expensive. This one could be the game changer. So as far as what we're getting in here, it looks like this one is going to come with the least amount of stuff, in that, you know, we've got just the 1 unit card. We got 2 copies of Hacked Comms Unit, though. That does make, and also Comms Jammer and comms. So again, like this is like part of what makes me think this is going to be a cheaper expansion, because it looks like it doesn't have that many upgrade slots. Right? It's not coming with any weapons, any hard points, any ordnance or anything like that. The Bombardier is probably your if either your rear weapon, you know, is the NASP gunner or the Bombardier. You can't run them both, so it looks like you might only have like 2 upgrade slots, maybe a third, you know. So yeah, I guess we're gonna have to see. But this one, I'm very, very curious of exactly how this is going to fly. And last but not least, our little spider droid with his various little weapons. curious about this one because I don't magnetize my little weapons and guns. So I'm curious which one you are going to go with. So our spider droid here, or I'm sorry, our dwarf spider droid is going to come with an ion blaster weapon and a flamethrower, in addition to, like, they only mentioned 2 guns, but you see the third one there. Well, that's because he's got one equipped already. And he's got some interesting stuff. He's going to have some kind of potentially interesting AI. He also comes with 2 copies of the hacked comms unit. So I thought that's kind of interesting. But yes, so, all right, so he's got portable scanner, into the fray, attack protocols, defense protocols, and engagement protocols. Right? Like, that's interesting. And the one thing we don't see here is we don't see that ion blaster, right? Like, it's definitely, the ion blaster is clearly right there. Where's the upgrade for it? Right? Or is it like a double-sided upgrade? Or does it, or, you know, maybe these are just not the most accurate images. These are all from the US Asmodee store webpage. But yeah, so you know, again, hacked comms unit is kind of showing up everywhere. No idea what that does. It's obviously going to be important for this wave. But and the fact that they're giving you multiple copies of it and they're giving it to you just about everywhere makes me think it's going to be something that I think almost everybody's going to want. And maybe that's why they're giving you so many copies and giving it to you in so many places, so it doesn't become like some kind of chase upgrade that you're like, oh, everybody has to buy this, even though if they don't play that faction, just because they need a lot more copies of this upgrade. So I guess attack protocols, defense protocols, and engagement protocols might be some kind of way to rewrite your AI. And I'd also be curious to know if you have to run them at all, or if you can just kind of run this as is. Maybe it's going to have some kind of equip keyword that you must have one. I'm kind of thinking of, if you've played Star Wars Armada, the Chimera title gives you a fleet command upgrade, and during the game you can swap it for a different one. So I wonder if you can change them from attack, defense, or engagement in the middle of the game. You know, and since there's 3 different ones, it wouldn't be as simple as just a double-sided upgrade card. So maybe that's why they went with all 3. This guy comes with Into the Fray also, which means are they going to want, you know, if it's got the flamethrower, then it's probably going to want to get up close and personal. So maybe it's going to be a pretty survivable, support that really wants to get closer. And I think that would be a good point of distinction because, the droidekas, while they can be fast or slow, they don't really want to get into range 1 or 2. You know, like they're happy to stay at range 3. You know, so they don't want to get like too close to you. So like, but here's maybe a unit that does want to get closer to you. So yeah, that's all we have right now. I'll be bringing you more information as we get it, and I think that's it. So look, it's interesting. It's a mixed time right now. It certainly is, and we're just gonna have to wait and see what the future holds. But we got some pretty cool things to keep us occupied in the meantime. So I would love to have you guys check out some of the links in the video description below. We got links to Discord. If you haven't already, please join the Discord. Chat with us. Let us know what you think about this new wave. Also, go ahead and follow me on social media. We got all the links down there. You can head over to Crabbok.com. I've got a Legion AI expansion you can use. You can print it out. It's a card-based AI system. If you're, COVID's starting to get crazy again, you might not be able to go out as much for a little while. And if you're looking for, an excuse to play Legion all by yourself, AI system is right there for you guys, absolutely free over on Crabbok.com. So check it out. We'll talk to you guys later. Big thanks to my patrons. You guys are amazing and help make this channel possible. And I couldn't do it without you. So thank you for your continued support. And to everybody else, always remember, never ride a horse with spikes on your butt.